Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm back and I'm doing a tropical update today. This time, more different severe weather back at it again. So, we have a good amount to talk about for tonight. Let me fix this real quick, adjust a few things real quick. Alright. Make sure the stream's flowing through correctly and well. Alright, it looks like it is. Alright, so let's wait for some people to come up in here. Make sure sound's going well. Hello. Alright, so that sounds good. Alright. Just making sure my sound is alright. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so let's get started. So, I'm sure you heard of this well, not constant, but most of the talk on the Weather Channel or your local news or a random person on TikTok or on X or on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever social media you use, that people have been saying, oh, there's maybe this massive hurricane that's going to hit Florida, oh, it's going to hit North Carolina, oh, this, and oh, many several things. Misinformate good, real information, and then there's also the misinformation that some dummies put out there that have no idea at all what to do with meteorology, to do with hurricanes, severe weather, period, at all. They have no idea what they're talking about, but there also is real people, real meteorologists with degrees who know what they're talking about to do with these hurricanes. So, because there's been a lot of misinformation lately. And this stream, I'm going to give you the actual factual evidence provided from these weather computer models, what they're showing right now, what they showed before. There's a lot of inconsistency and a lot of uncertainty if it'll just go out to sea and just be a fish storm, or if it just skims the east coast of the United States. I'm not going to hype this up at all. I'm not going to wish anything on anyone. I'm not that way. I'm just going to give you the realistic ideas and what is the computer models are showing as of right now, because this will change since it is about like almost 2 weeks out, like 9 to 10 days out, until we get a real true answer of if it will definitely be a fish storm or if it could impact the eastern U.S., like Florida, the Carolinas, Virginia, Georgia, etc. But as of right now, the National Hurricane Center, or the NHC, has put out a high risk for this to develop within the next 7 days, and then a medium chance for it to develop within the next 48 hours. So they have labeled this as 97L. It is located right here off the coast of Africa. Excuse me. It finally came off the coast of Africa earlier yesterday morning, and it slowed down, and the area of center of low pressure has changed as the storm has evolved throughout the past 24 to 36 hours. So this is the latest information on it right now. So let's look at some of the satellite imagery of Invest 97L. So as you can see, it's been looking pretty healthy today, especially since sunrise earlier this morning. It's in the late evening now, but as you can see, Invest 97L is looking pretty healthy. Some very good convection around the area of center low pressure, or where we think it is as of right now. We're not 100% certain, but we're thinking it is somewhere right over here, right under that heavy burst of convection that has been going on for several hours now, which is a really healthy system. But the question is if it will continue to stay in a healthy environment, if it will be impacted by dry air, wind shear. So let's get to some of what the model data is showing currently right now. So I'm going to show you the GFS, European model, computer model, the Euro AI model, the Canadian, the British model, just a few other ones, and even the hurricane specific computer models, like the WARF model, for example. Okay, so let's get through some of these, because these are going to show very different scenarios, and it's going to be important. What is this? Excuse me, what? So if y'all have any comments or have any questions, excuse me, feel free to type them in the comment section below, and I'll freely answer them on stream. Okay, so let's get right to this. So this is from earlier today, so this is about now. Look. Yeah, so this is about as of right now. I see that area low pressure is somewhere. Let me do this real quick. Do a different color for y'all. Look like a red, I guess. Okay. It is somewhere right over here, right off the coast of Africa, as you can see. And I don't know why it just did that, but alright. Okay. And as time goes on, this is tomorrow afternoon. It has pushed more west, but has gained longitude, and it's still a weak system, still not that much development at all. And then as the day goes on, throughout Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, it is moving more west, and still a weak system, probably not, according to this model, this is a European AI model, showing not much development at all. Let's see real quick. And okay, make sure no one comment. Okay, so this is 54 hours out. So that's Tuesday evening. It says Wednesday, but this is Wednesday at like 8 p.m. or Tuesday at 8 p.m. but it restarts. That's Zulu time. That's for like meteorological type time, if that makes sense. If that okay. So as time goes on, this is Wednesday afternoon, 72 hours out. System still weak. And as we get to Saturday, Sunday afternoon, it starts to develop some tropical storm characteristics, maybe. Well, according to this model, finally this develops into a tropical storm, but is a lot more south. And what I'm going to get to in a little while is the difference, and once it gets over here is a big question mark, because 1 mile might say, oh, just become a fish storm, and then 1 mile might say, oh, it might just curve up the coast, or like in between. We just, to be honest, none of us know what's going to happen. So that's the real truth. We're not sure exactly what's going to happen, but this is what the model data is showing as of right now. And so Adam, why would you show the European AI model was only 2 years old, not that old of a model. We need to consider each scenario, and as time goes by, this is Monday evening, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. We got a hurricane off the coast of Florida and impacted the Bahamas. But note, this is 216 hours out. This is very far out in time. This is Tuesday, mind you, the 19th. This is the 10th. 9 days out. And this is a big question mark. Could it be over here? Could it be, for example, over here near Bermuda that are circled? We just don't know at this point. But I'm not going to go any further than this. This is Wednesday. Early Wednesday morning. Yeah, that was Tuesday, late night. Sorry, my bad. Wednesday morning. I'm not going to go any further than this. Because I'm not going to be the type of person to be like, oh, and show it like slamming the eastern United States and cause fear and hype and all this craziness. I'm not going to go any more further than that. Because 234 hours out, that's... I don't even know why people would even consider looking out that far, especially for a hurricane. When they should want to look at accurate, realistic information, when this isn't that realistic and that factual due to how far out this model run is. Because at this point, especially the GFS, once it's over 200 hours out, 250 hours out, 300 hours out, it's la la land. Whatever happens, whatever that model run shows will not show that run again, or it might go flip-flop. You'll just never know. Okay, so let's go to the GFS, of course. So this is tomorrow afternoon, Monday afternoon. Oh Lord, my bad. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. My bad. Okay, so get my mouse out, no, my marker, not my mouse. So here it is over here, off the coast of Africa, and this is tomorrow afternoon, Monday afternoon, August 11th. And as you can see, as time goes on, it finally becomes a tropical storm about here, which I don't necessarily, it's possible, but at the same time, according to model data, it's a little bit in depth. I'm not going to show you on stream, but there's going to be some shear and some dry air in this general vicinity, so it might struggle a little bit. It's in a favorable environment now. There's a little bit of dry air and a light shear. That's why it's looking healthy right now. But this far out, 96 hours out to 102 hours out, this is the general time frame where we do know a general idea of where it will move, at least intensity wise. To be honest, none of us know, because it's so much inconsistency. It's like knife and funny. This is 144 hours out. This is Saturday afternoon, August 16th. And as you can see, it has moved up a bit more north in longitude. And then as you can see, another whole wave, but we're not going to talk about that. And then it just moves up, and this becomes a fish storm before it even hits Bermuda, very close to Bermuda, and then it just goes out up north and out to sea as a fish storm. And the reason why that is, I'm going to show y'all real quick too, is because, okay, so the reason why right here it's moving more west, as this is Tuesday afternoon, is because of this high that's right here, that's in place. And then, as you see, the trough. I can't draw, look bad. My drawing is bad. As you see a disturbance here. Oh my god, can this stop? Trough here. And then as you see the ridging right here, and then the Bermuda High, that will influence greatly. I know that's drawn terribly, but and then as you see, here's the system right here. As time goes on, that's why it's pushing more west. This is the GFS model, as it pushes more west because the high is still in place. Massive ridging, trough here, a massive ridge here, another whole system right here. But in the main strongest parts of the high is about right here. But as time goes on, that there's going to be a weakness, as you can see, as the high is now over here, and then the other high is about right here. There's going to be a big weakness right in here, and that is why that storm is going to move. It's going to take where that weakness is and just move up. And there was a better demonstration, but there was a trough right there. But earlier it was showing that there was like a disturbance right about here-ish, and like a weak trough, and the trough grabbed it pretty much and threw it out to sea, if that makes it easier in simpler terms. And once it has that weakness, it'll just go out to sea, as you can see there, if that makes sense. Okay. And feel free to comment any questions, comments, or concerns y'all have in the chat. This is the GFS model that we're looking at. And let me go back. Not that. Okay. So as you can see, the GFS model is very bullish, very aggressive. It's always been with this, especially this system. And yeah, so let's go to the European model. 12Z. Since the 18Z does not go out that far, we'll just have to wait for the render, for the 0Z to render in. Okay, so this is the European model. Okay, get this figured out. So this is tomorrow afternoon. Here's Infest 97L, and as time goes on, this is Wednesday afternoon, the 13th, and it's starting to develop some into, it's struggling a little bit due to some dry air and some light wind shear here and there. And then, like I said, there's this main Bermuda High right here, like I said. And then, let's see. Does this side still work? Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is a little easier. Okay, yeah, you can see it better. Sometimes it's hard for me to see, but we got a trough that in there. We got a very weak neutral trough. And as you see, here's that high pressure that's built. There's the ridge, of course, main area high pressure. And as you can see, as time goes on, you see it's the thinning out. And there's a weakness right in here. And the other high, of course, right here, huge. And then the other one over here. You see there's a weakness, and it takes advantage of that weakness, like I said. This is the more easier to see. It takes that weakness and it gets very close to the coast. More closer to what the GFS shown, and will just go out to sea. But both models do show again to hurricane intensity, so this definitely will eventually, at some point in time, I believe, will get to hurricane intensity. But the point of once it forms into a tropical storm is relatively, to be honest, in my opinion, not certain of yet. Because one mom may say, oh, it'll form a tropical storm out here. Or one mom may say, oh, wait until here. Or one may say, oh, right when it forms off here, which I don't believe that will happen. But I really do believe at some point in time there will be a hurricane somewhere in this general area within the next 9 to 10 days. Of what extent, I'm not sure. Could it be a fish storm? Yes. Could it get close to the coast? Yes. Could it hit the coast? Possibly. But I'm not going to say if it will or if it will not, because I'm not here to cause hype or fear because of what I do not know of right now due to it's so far out. What I do know is that it will eventually move in this general area like this, but once it gets to out here is the big question mark. And that's why we always got to look at different model guidance and different model runs and different models. This is a CMC, the GEM model. And this one shows a very weak system. This is Saturday. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's Saturday. Yep. Saturday the 16th. Excuse me. Friday evening of the 15th. The Zulu time's different. Okay, this is Saturday afternoon as it finally develops into a tropical storm, maybe a weekend hurricane. This is still a weak system. This is Thursday afternoon of the 14th. And as you can see, that high starts to wither away. If that makes sense. It's a little terrible, but either way. As you can see, then it finds that weakness more over here, as that massive ridge happens, and it takes that advantage. And that's as far as it will go, 240 hours out. Still very far out in time. I'm not going to say anything at all, especially when it's the 20th. It's the 10 days out. Very far out in time with a lot of model inconsistency. So there's a lot of uncertainties. Like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. Okay, and then the icon model. Where am I at? Okay. This is as far as out as it will go. As you can see, this is the 0Z rendering, 0Z update of the model, excuse me. This is August the 16th, Saturday morning. Here's a system right here, a little more north. Probably a tropical storm by then, not very intense yet. And it's showing hour 132. A little bit far out, in my opinion, but just right at the range where you're about to be like, okay, about 150 hours out and beyond. It's a lot of inconsistency and a lot of uncertainty, especially where it will go. So always need to factor in those things. Okay, so let's go to some of the hurricane specific computer models. So this is the WRF model for Invest 97L, of course. And as you can see, it doesn't develop to a tropical storm by about here, which I think it's possible, but a lot of inconsistencies going, a lot of going back and forth, because technically, once it forms, the model generally, as time goes on, knows more of a location, more better intensity that it is, because technically it hasn't formed yet. There's a wave there, but technically it has not formed into, it's going to, it's almost, but it's more of a wave. But as time goes on, this is as far as it'll go, 126 hours out. This is Friday late evening. As you see, it's not a hurricane of 89 knots. It's about 90 Yeah, about 89 knots, almost 100 miles per hour, sustained for pressure of 973.7 millibars. And as you can see, you can generally see, let me see real quick. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna work on that. Let me go back real quick. Okay. Let's go to the other hurricane. The HMO N W N. Yep. The N model. Okay. So let me. Where am I at? Okay, that's no parent model of it, so I can't zoom out any more than this, unfortunately. So this is about Wednesday late morning, the 13th. Finally a tropical storm, but I'm not going to show much of that because it's hard to see out that far out. Here's another one, the HAFS. I guess that's pronounced HAFS, A parent A, and then there's a B as well. But as you can see, it doesn't become a tropical storm by about here-ish, like between the Lesser Antilles and the Cape Verde Islands. I think that's what they're called. I could be wrong. My geography with Africa is not the best, especially with the countries. So, well, obviously I know where Egypt is and Libya is, but and Madagascar, but not like the. Okay, and this is about 99 knots. So this is pushing a major hurricane with a 958 millibar storm, 958, 959, 126 hours out. Friday late evening, Saturday early morning. So some of these are obviously pretty aggressive with this system, and others are not. Some, like for example, this mom may say, oh, it's a hurricane by then, and another mom might say it's a weak tropical storm, like struggling to form, and then once it moves. But the thing I've noticed is the more weaker of a storm it is, the more slower move up the coast, but more of a stronger of a storm it is, the more likely it'll be a fish storm. In general honesty, like for example, if this did happen, it'd probably be more likely a fish storm, but don't quote me on that because it can still do whatever it would want to do, since it's still pretty far out. By that time, it'll be over 200 hours out. Over about 9, 10, 11 days out. That's very far out to forecast a hurricane or a storm. It's pretty much idiotic to try at that point to say, oh, I think it's going to hit Bermuda, or say, oh, I think it's definitely at these exact longitude and longitudinal turn and become a fish storm. Like at that point, that far out, you can't necessarily do that with that much modeling consistency of the intensity and where it will move. It's pretty idiotic for someone to do that, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, so that was a little longer than I thought, but I just wanted to show you what the weather computer models are showing right now for the potential possible intensity, possible area of if it will become a fish storm. But I think it will become a hurricane at some point in time. As of to when and where, I'm not sure yet. But all I know right now is currently it is looking pretty healthy on infrared satellite imagery. This is from Cyclonic Weather or WX.com. And this is all free. Some of it is, but other stuff you have to pay for, obviously. But anyway, if y'all have any comments or questions below, feel free to do so. And let me see real quick if anyone commented in the chat, in the comment section. See if there's any questions. Okay. Okay. And if y'all would like to see more videos and live streams like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and comment and like. Because I'm going to start to do these a lot more. Okay. What is going on? Okay. Okay, that's good. And this is the model forecast tracks more the the hurricane specific models. Yeah. So this goes out to 160 hours out, and as you can see, they generally move west, and then they eventually start to gain uh, latitude and into the lot more warmer waters. So, all right, I don't have much else to talk about. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to end the stream here, and I'll see y'all in the next one, chat. Peace out.